husband is cheating on me, but I don't care. My mother thinks I'm insane. I told my husband from day one, if you ever want to cheat, just leave. Don't sneak around. If someone can take you, they can keep you. He laughed and said I was his forever. That was 18 months ago. Now our neighbor, a literal supermodel, cooks him dinner every night while I work late, and I'm testing my own philosophy. We moved into our penthouse 6 months ago. Madison moved in next door the same week. 24, Ukrainian, signed with elite models. Her husband is 55, controls her bank accounts, makes her ask permission to buy groceries. I envy you renovating, she told us. Victor won't let me change anything, says I have no taste. My husband Kyle immediately offered to let her help with ours. I was working 60-hour weeks at the firm. He worked from home. It made sense. At first, it was innocent. Madison would bring coffee, give opinions on paint colors. Then she discovered Kyle loved hiking, something I despise, and started joining his morning trails. They'd return laughing, sweaty, sharing inside jokes. Then came the cooking. You work so late, she said. Kyle shouldn't eat alone. In Ukraine, we never let neighbors go hungry. Every night, I'd come home to empty dishes from her apartment. Borscht, vareniki, chicken Kiev, Kyle's favorites, which she'd somehow learned. Her husband doesn't eat with her? I asked once. Victor works late too. Moscow hours, Kyle explained. She's lonely. 2 weeks ago, I came home to find them covered in paint, renovating our guest bathroom together. Madison wore one of Kyle's old shirts. They didn't hear me come in, too busy laughing about some YouTube video they'd watched. Oh, you're early. Madison jumped up. I'll go. You two need couple time. After she left, Kyle couldn't stop talking about how helpful she'd been, how she had an eye for design, how Victor was wasting her potential. I told my mother everything. She exploded. You're just letting this happen? Ban her from your home. If Kyle wants to cheat, that's his choice. You're insane. You're enabling this. No, I'm seeing if my husband is trustworthy. If Madison can steal him with borscht and hiking, he was never mine. Mom called me deranged, said I was testing him on purpose. Maybe I was, but I needed to know, was Kyle the man who chose me forever, or just another guy waiting for something better? Last night changed everything. I came home at midnight from a client dinner. The penthouse was dark except for candlelight from the dining room. Kyle and Madison sat at our table, wine glasses empty, her hand on his. They jumped apart when I walked in. It's not what it looks like, Kyle said immediately. Madison was crying. Victor hit me. I didn't know where else to go. I saw the bruise on her cheek, the cut on her lip. Why didn't you call the police? I asked. He owns me, she whispered. My visa, my modeling contract, everything is through his company. If I report him, I get deported. Kyle looked at me desperately. I told her she could stay here tonight, in the guest room. I studied them both. Madison's tears seemed real. The bruise was definitely fresh, but something felt off. Of course you can stay, I said. Mom called while Madison was showering. I hired a private investigator. What? You won't protect your marriage, so I will. He's been following Kyle for a week. Mother, they haven't had sex yet, but your husband goes to her apartment every day when you're at work for hours. Maybe they're just friends. The investigator has photos. They're intimate, cuddling on her couch, her in lingerie while he's there, him zipping up her dress. My chest tightened. Send them. The photos arrived instantly. Kyle and Madison on her balcony, her in a silk robe, his arms around her waist. Another of them on her couch, her head on his shoulder, his hand in her hair. One of him fastening her dress while she held her hair up. I was still staring at them when Madison came out in my robe. Thank you for letting me stay. You're so kind. Kyle is lucky to have someone so understanding. Understanding, right. I smiled. Madison, can I ask you something? How did you get that bruise exactly? She touched her cheek. Victor's ring when he backhanded me. Which hand? His right? Victor was left-handed. I'd seen him sign for packages multiple times. And this happened tonight? An hour ago. But Victor's been in Moscow all week. His Instagram shows him at a conference. Madison went pale. Kyle stood up. How would you know that? He asked. I follow him. Interesting that he can abuse her from 3,000 miles away. The room went silent. Madison's tears had stopped completely. Kyle was looking between us like a trapped animal. Then my phone buzzed. The private investigator. You need to see this. Just took this photo. Someone's in your apartment. The photo showed our bedroom. Through the window, a figure was going through my dresser. We were all in the living room, which meant someone else was in our home. Kyle, I said slowly. Who else has our keys? His face went white. Madison's phone rang. She looked at the screen and dropped it. The caller ID said wife, but Madison didn't have a wife. Unless